Here we have a TU2000 unit that's connected to the LMR system we have built up here, and this unit's also connected to the cellular network. Now we know that the radio is on LMR because the top right hand corner you can see that we've got the LMR antenna icon displayed. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate a normal LMR call. So this is an LMR call. Can you come back over?
This is LMR receiving, over.
And I'll end that, and just to remind everyone what it looks like, this is an emergency call. Now we're doing transmit cycling, so this is an emergency transmission.
This is emergency receiving, over.
And I can clear down that emergency call. So that's the normal LMR functionality, and now what we're going to demonstrate is our ability for this unit to automatically detect that it's lost LMR coverage and switch to the cellular network. So, well, you'll know that it's switched to the cellular network because this icon up the top will change from the LMR antenna to the cellular antenna. So we're going to simulate the loss of LMR coverage by removing this antenna connection here. And now when we go back to the radio, you'll see that all of the bars for LMR have disappeared. And the unit will hunt around to try and find another LMR channel. And when it fails to do that, it will switch over to cellular. And now you can see the cellular icon. And I can make a call on cellular. This is a cellular call, over.
This is LMR receiving, over.
We can end that, and now I can make an emergency call on cellular. And we can see the same transmit cycling behavior, and we can let the receive audio come back.
This is emergency receiving, over.
And I can end the call. So we can see here that the buttons and the beeps and everything all sound the same on cellular as they do on LMR. And now the end of the simulation is we regain LMR coverage, and I'll do that by plugging the antenna back in. And now the unit will, after a while, detect that the LMR service is back, and it will change from cellular back to LMR. So at the moment this has just been tuned for our own prototype, and this is we'll tune this as per customer expectations and requirements. So now we can see we've gone back to the LMR bearer, and I can make the same calls again. This is an LMR call from LMR, over.
This is LMR receiving, over.
And an emergency. This is an emergency transmission, over.
This is emergency receiving, over.
Excellent. So now, just to finish off this demo, we want to run through a scenario that might happen. So imagine you're driving along the road in LMR coverage, and just as you start to drive out of coverage, someone else on the system raises an emergency call. So that's what we're going to simulate here, and what we expect to see is that the cellular unit, or the unit will switch over to the cellular network and then get pulled into the emergency call. So we're on LMR at the moment, driving along the road. I'm going to unplug the antenna, and we'll see the unit go offline. Now at the same time, someone's going to raise an emergency on the system, and the emergency is happening, but we currently don't have coverage. The unit got onto the cellular network, got pulled into the emergency call, and now you're receiving that emergency call from on the cellular network. So here today we saw the ability for this TU2000 unit to make calls on both the LMR network and the cellular network, and we also saw how it can automatically detect the current status of the LMR bearer and use that information to decide whether to change over to the cellular network and change back again.